Well, good morning, YouTube friends and family, and welcome to today's edition of the Wellness Homesteader. So, you may hear still a little short of breath, but, the days go on, and I am taking the medication. We'll see what it's like when I finish it up. This is really day 3.5 of 7, so I don't want to jump to conclusions. But I'm not seeing a great deal of improvement, so I may not be able to tolerate the Infinzi. But, y'all, yesterday I was going to do a video, and I got super sidetracked. Imagine that, right? Excuse me, that's just the washer letting me know that we're done. But let me give you a little weather update here. So hang tight. So right now, it is 51 degrees. It'll probably drop to like 49, 48. 69 in the house. I do have some windows open. It's very humid outside. Why is that? Well, hang on. I'm going to show you. So it's starting to clear, but we have a lot of fog this morning. I don't know how well you can tell. A little bit earlier, I couldn't see even to my garden. So, and the girly girls are still in bed. And pretty girl, is pretty girl here? No, she's not here. And some of you have asked, haven't seen your chickens for a while. Well, I've got the barred rocks molting. The baby's still, Winona's still broody. And here we go. Hi, girlies. Yes, everybody wants to see you. Yeah, so I'll have to show you when it's a little bit lighter out. But let me get their feed and water done, and we'll see what we're going to get into. All right, y'all, this is my little early riser. This is my silky Winona, also known as Nona Nunu. And she's getting her breakfast. I'm hoping she'll come out of broody today. Here comes Miss Violet, who, I say is my special needs chicken. She's broody all the time. She thinks Winona's her baby. So those two pal around together. And poor Fancy Ray is molting so bad. I really feel bad for her. She's all naked. What you doing, Miss Violet? Sweet girl. They're both sweet. All right, y'all. Rarely in here on my videos, but we are in the laundry room, which is teeny tiny for this great big house. So what am I doing? Well, Fridays is laundry day. And since we've been talking about budgeting and saving money, one of the things that I'm trying to do, Miss Shortness of Breath, is not use my dryer at all. Dryer is one of those things that really sucks down the electricity. Any appliance that heats is going to use more electricity. And y'all don't want to see my unmentionables. Oh, Lord. Hang on, guys. Got a chicken ball. Y'all. You know how mothers are. We can hear a baby cry from a block away, right? Well, I have a little mole that's been getting into the coop. Even Miss Nona is much bigger than the mole. But she's afraid of it. And so she'll cry about it. Big baby. I shouldn't say that. Anyway, back to saving money. So, I don't mind this. The one thing I do dry, and I will continue to dry, is towels and sheets. I can't really hang clothes out because I don't have a clothesline. I don't have any place to put a clothesline. But I hang my clothes on a hanger, and then I put them upstairs in the spare bedroom, Benny's room, because I have a canopy bed, and so I hang all the hangers on there. And let me tell you what, guys, they'll be perfectly dry and fresh tomorrow. So, one other benefit of doing things this way, excuse me while I grab a couple hangers, is it saves wear and tear on your clothes, y'all. Your clothes will last you longer if you hang dry versus dry on the dryer. So to me, there's every reason to hang my clothes. Does it take a little longer? I don't know if it really does. You know, if you put them in the dryer, you still got to hang them up or fold them or whatsoever. So now I do have like some hand towels that I'll just hang over a hanger. It'll be just fine. And I have a front loader washer. And so that really helps. It really, really wrings it out. And whenever I buy like a t-shirt or something at Walmart, I save the hangers. All right, guys. What's next? We have to stay tuned because we're going to be saving money today. All right, y'all. I wanted to share with you some decor I've been doing. And this is almost a twin-size quilt that I made. This is 100% cotton. I used the bleach-free twin-size cotton batting. And then these are the little squares that I purchased off Amazon. And I bought 2 packages. So the 2 packages was $24. The fabric, I had to buy special because I needed a wider width. But it is so warm. And the pillow covers, guys, I bought last year, end of season. Forgot totally that I had them. Excuse my disorganization. And voila, found them when I was looking in a closet, which I don't want anybody else looking in. And I think the two go together really well. How is this saving me money? Well, I get really cold in the winter. My house is really cold. And we start getting some very chilly temperatures. And usually heats go on September, October here where I live in Ohio. So if I can stay warm while I'm watching TV, because I lay on the ottoman with my blanket, this is going to save me a little bit of gas. Now, y'all know my love for my 1951 Philco, and I really do love it. But y'all, the only thing in there right now is some overflow beverages that I forgot I had because I put them in the vegetable bin. Now, this fridge could use a good wipe out. And as you see, I've got a very big problem with a very frosty, non-frost-free freezer. So what am I going to do? Well, guys, this is going to save me money. Back here is the plug. We're going to pull it. And appliances like this, while I love them, I really used it a lot for garden produce. You know, when I was canning, well, I don't have any of that right now. I don't really have any need to be running the Philco. I can use it to store overflow of beverages. I want to defrost the freezer, and I'm just going to leave it unplugged and enjoy the ambiance. And guys, these non-energy efficient older appliances take up a ton of electricity. So I'm hoping this will save me a bit as well. So let's talk a little bit more about grocery shopping, saving money on food. And I've shared with you all, and if you've been on my channel for a while, you know about my pantry, right? You know about my hiccups. Excuse me. I was trying to talk to my son last night on the phone, and literally I couldn't speak for a while because I was hiccuping so hard, and it scared him. And I'm like, son, I've hiccuped my whole, like your whole life anyway. But anyway, it made me more short of breath. Oh, guys, keep up the prayers. I'm not as much better as I wish I was. I've got my oxygen right here. I've been using it. Thank you, respiratory therapist. You know who you are. I'm not going to call out your name. I don't want to embarrass you or say something you don't want me to. But you brought up some really good points. And so I'm going to be using my oxygen today. I'm going to be taking it with. I've already used it a couple times. I did get my home refrigerator cleaned out. And I know a lot of you like to meal plan. You may like to meal prep and do it in the freezer. Guys, I'm just going to be honest. That doesn't work well for me because I never know what it is I'm going to be willing to eat. And I've had that salmon and macaroni and tomatoes sitting out for like 3 days. I mean, it's canned salmon. It's fine. It's fresh, home canned tomatoes. Because I'm like, yeah, no, I don't want that. So I did a good inventory of what I do have, what I don't have. I had read a list to you, but I found some other things that I would like to have. And one of the things I know very well about myself is I'll go to the grocery, I'll eat all the fresh stuff, and then I'm right back to where I started, and I'm not getting to, my pantry goods. So I want to do a combination, but I also want to have some relief meals for those days where I'm just like, I can't do pasta again because I don't even really like pasta, but I have a lot of it. And guys, I don't hate pasta. It just doesn't always agree with me, right? And I'm not gluten intolerant. It's just, I always feel like I've swallowed my pillow when I have pasta. Anyway, so I thought about what I needed, looked at what I needed, and I went online because I do have free Walmart delivery, saves me a trip into town, but I need to go to the bank today because I need to deposit the money that I saved from August, and also to take out the money I need for September. And I know, like, that's kind of silly. I could not put it in and pull it out, but it's going in different accounts, if that makes sense. So anyway, I sat down and I looked at Walmart online and looked at Aldi. And I have to tell you guys, Aldi, and I know it is Labor Day weekend, wins hands down for the prices for things I was looking at. They have a lot of good meat sale prices. And in my town, now today is Friday. Wednesday is the best day to go. I wasn't ready to go on Wednesday. But that's okay. I am going to go to Aldi. If I can't find what I need or what I want or what's on my list, I can always pop across the way to Walmart and finish up my shopping there. So I'm going to take you with. I want you to see some of the savings, some of the differences from if you've never shopped at Aldi. There's a couple things that are a pain. You got to have a quarter to get yourself a cart. You got to buy your cart. You get your quarter bag, though. And you have to take your own bags or purchase bags. So I'm well equipped for that. I'm ready to do it. But the other thing I don't like about Aldi is they don't open until 9. I was ready, 2 hours ago to go to the grocery. So catching up on a little YouTube, just chilling, and at least the chickens have settled down. Guys, I don't know. I can't say what to do about the mole, but it'll be winter and it'll be gone. And it tunnels and runs around in the chicken coop and it freaks them out. And it's a little tiny furry thing, little tiny thing. So hopefully one of my outdoor kitties, I now have 2 guys. I have Pretty Kitty and then Stripey Kitty. And I don't know whether it's a boy or a girl, but it's a little more skittish. Pretty Kitty's getting more and more comfortable, and I might have started feeding her because I love her. All right, guys, I'll see you when we're ready to go to the grocery. All right, y'all, we're in the car, and I'm just sitting in my driveway, so I'm not driving while I'm filming. I want to ask y'all a question. How loud? Because I know some of you listen with earphones. Excuse my running nose. Yep, must be a video. Time for the hiccups. I got this upside down here. Okay. All right. I hate this oxygen, but I love it too. It really helps me. How loud is it? And, is it a problem for you hearing? Is it super annoying? If it is, I might be able to muffle it with a blanket or something, but I'm not going to not use it. So don't think I'm saying that. So we're headed to Big Town. I have to go to the bank, and I'm going to go to Aldi, and we're going to see what kind of bargains we can find. Now, guys, in full disclosure, today is the 29th. I have not been to the grocery since July 23rd, but who's counting? So, I am in the market for some fresh dairy. You know, just some things that I like to eat so that I'm not always having to eat what I don't want. So, I also want to get some things. What on earth do the neighbors have up? I have new neighbors, guys. Well, that's interesting. I'll have to go find out what that is. I haven't introduced myself. They're renters. I don't know who they are. I have not seen a hide nor hair of any of them, so I don't know. But that's peculiar. Okay, being nosy here. Let's go see what we can find. All right, stay tuned. I just want to show you how pretty the corn is. It's fully tasseled, and how heavy the fog is. Hold on. Take a look. You cannot see hardly down the road. Either direction. Those are soybeans. So crops are getting ready, and fall is a coming. Y'all, we're here. Excuse my hand. Fog is so thick. Can y'all see? Can y'all see that? Yeah. So it took me quite a while to get here. Gasoline's gone way up, and I know some of you on the West Coast are like, I wish our gas was this, but it's like $3.15 where I usually fill up, which is usually the cheapest. So that's discouraging. And guess what I did? I forgot my list, but I think I'll be all right. Oh, God love it. Sometimes some of these little people, there's a guy pushing a cart with a cane. God love him. I guess my oxygen isn't that big of a deal. All right, guys, let's go in and see what bargains we can find. Really, you're going to honk at that old man? I might have to speak to that feller. He might beat him with the cane. Oh, okay. A little drama here at the Aldi. Right, y'all. So, their cantaloupe is $1.99. It's $2.49 at Walmart. Sorry about the noise in the background. Grapes are $1.29 a pound. I'm going to pass. I would really like some apples, so we're going to try that. All right, y'all. Not a lot of choices. Fiji Pink Lady and Honey Crisp. I think I'm going to do the Pink Lady because what I want to do is make fried apples. So let's grab us a bag of Pink Lady. And then let's avoid things like caramel apples, which are $3.49 for 3. So it's 20 cents more than buying a whole bag and doing it yourself. So, and they do carry medjool dates. So if you're diabetic, sometimes this is a good sweetener. I have a bag at home I need to use up. And then down here, oh, they have Cosmic Crisp. Now the apples are really small that are coming in right now. But I'm going to try the Pink Lady. Oh, they do have more. Granny Smith, and a whole bunch of produce. So let me see what bargains I can find. Well, I have to say there's not many bargains to be had. So the 1 pound of baby carrots is $1.19. Usually they're under $1. The raspberries, the little container is $2.99. Strawberries don't look great end of season, understandable. The organic carrots are $1.59. And a lot of their salad mixes just look wilted. So I'm going to pass on that as well. And we're coming up to the Isle of Temptation, but I don't really need any bread. I'm going to make my bread. I might peruse it just to sit laugh. I just realized I went out in my house shoes. But here's a good example of, really pricing and shopping. So I would rather have Idaho potatoes. They don't have them. They have russets. And $4.99 for a 10-pound bag, $3.99 for a 5-pound bag. So I'm going to do the 10-pound bag, and we're just going to have lots of taties. Now, y'all know I love my sweets. But here's where grocery bills can really add up. Little pan of s'mores brownies for $4.49. $6 for assorted Italian cookies. Very, very pricey. Little partial loaf, wouldn't even make a whole loaf of lemon bread, $3.89. So guys, if you don't bake, learn. Cute little mini donuts. I actually have the mini donut insert to my waffle maker I could use to make those a lot healthier and diabetic friendly. And then we have our seasonal things. Pumpkin cream cheese frosted sugar cookie. Yum. One of the things that always cracks me up is when you get to a certain area and you were like, decisions were made. This might have been a diet decision because the roasted garlic Alfredo and bread, good, but these specialty loaves $1.85, which is not a terrible price, but $3.99 for the jalapeno cheddar sourdough, for plain sourdough, $3.29. So get to bacon, ladies and gents. I will say is, for $3.29 you can get the Simply Nature Organic, knock your sprouts off, reduced sodium. So this is going to be like your Dave's Killer Bread, $3.19 for the seed tasting bread. So there are good options, guys, compared to Walmart. I'm finding it cheaper. This surprised me. The alcohol aisle is right here. Maybe you make decisions when you see the prices. I'm not sure. I don't drink, so it doesn't matter. I like me a good cookie candy aisle. But I just wanted to talk a little bit about these packaging things. Not only is it a lot of packaging for the landfill, it's $2.99 for 6 100-calorie packs. Guys, get you some little reusable, washable baggies. Package them up like that. If you're tempted to eat them, put them in the freezer so that they're not tasty. Don't spend all this money on these little tiny, I mean, this is only 6, less than a 1 ounce pack. So don't waste your money on that. Let's talk a little bit about convenience. So here is the Panera Bread broccoli cheddar soup. Very easy to make. And it's $3.19. It's a single serving of 10 ounces. Here is a black bean salad, $2.49. Probably 2 serving. You know, if that's your main source of protein, it may be 1 serving. They also have a lot of these, oh no, you know, when you get down and you can't get back up, things like this. Your select snack packs, $3.19 for 3 little packs of sausage and cheese. You can make those yourself. So here's another thing, kombucha. I have a SCOBY, so I'm getting ready to make some kombucha. This is $3.29 for 1 bottle. Y'all, learning to be self-sufficient saves a lot of money. Now, I do have some things in my cart, but not a whole bunch. And I like to shop on the outer edges, but I am going to go up and down every aisle today. So, this is the aisle of salty snacks. So let me just share with you, this is the organic Simply Nature sea salt popcorn, $3.29. Guys, buy yourself some popcorn. Buy a microwave popper so you don't have to put the oil in it if that's your concern. The little bowls you can buy at Walmart, they work beautifully. I'm going to be making some kettle corn, homemade kettle corn, soon for a snack. And, you know, it's going to be better. Now, you know, here's a pretty good deal. If you want pretzels, $1.99. That's not something I can make. So you got to kind of pick and choose. We've got lots of salsa, some salsa on sale. That's a good price for this giant salsa. I have home canned salsa, so I'm okay right now. So yeah, still haven't picked up anything else, but let's keep going, see what bargains we can find. The fortunate thing is we don't have the diabetic sugar supplement options. You know, we have some organics, agave, stevia, sucralose, but no Splenda brown sugar, which is what I like. I will need to go to Walmart anyway for some ham hocks. So I'm kind of avoiding this aisle. It's a lot of convenience items. box cereals, things like that. I'm not finding anything bargain-wise. You know, $3.59 for 4 cups of mac and cheese. You're paying a lot for convenience. All right, y'all, we're in the aisle of shame where you buy things that you didn't know you needed, but then you decided you wanted. So here's some glass pumpkins, $8. These are really neat. These woven ones, and it is a pack of 2 for $9, so $4.50 each. Soft-sided cooler for $9.99. Just all kinds of seasonal things, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Lots of candles. These little stools are adorable. My fat butt would break them. And these are gorgeous. I saw these in their ad. And of course, if you need a Lego spider, and I do like to look at their little hanging things because it gives me ideas for wood rounds I can make. Frankie would die for that. He would think that is so cool. But we're not going to get it. Sorry about that, Frankie. And more this and that, you know, if you need a reacher grabber, which those things come in handy when you drop something behind your dresser. And fall outdoor mats for $8, but nothing here I see I need. Some gnome things, just a little bit of everything. So let's go to the cheese and see what they have bargain. I like their Happy Farms. This is extra sharp cheddar, half a pound for $1.85. What I'm finding is I can't eat through the big packages quickly enough so that they're spoiling, molding, and I cut the mold off, but then they taste kind of have a ring to them. So you'll always do better price-wise with this than you will with the pre-shredded. Plus, a lot of the pre-shredded was weird ingredients. So, anti-caking blend, potato starch, tapioca starch, gnat myosin, a natural mold inhibitor. So, no thank you. I would rather not have my gnat myosin. And this is $3.39 for twice as much, but I still would rather have the extra sharp is a little bit more per pound. So let's keep the conveniences I will pay for is the pre-made rice. So I got the basmati for $1.39. I got jasmine for $1.39. I got one other kind, don't remember. Oh, the brown. And then they do have the long grain and wild rice. Let's grab a pack of that too, because we're gonna do a lot of beans. So there we go. Cart's not super full. Y'all, you know times are tough when beans are this expensive. So 2 pounds of Great Northern, $2.19. So $1.10 basically a pound. They do have green lentils for $1.39. That's a pretty good buy for a pound. And then our pinto beans, our frioles pintos, 2 pounds for $1.95. So that is a good deal. If I can get back up, y'all. Oh, the other thing, they do have the different kinds of quick oats or old-fashioned oats, $3.99. Not the best price ever. I don't need oats, but it just seems like everything has gone up so much. Another thing Aldi has a lot of are the pastas and the pasta sauces. So lots of choices here. Angel hair or fettuccine, $1.95, and this is a 2 pound pack. They have the penne, which is one of my favorites. They have elbow, one of my least favorites. The penne is 98 cents, but this is only a pound. But still, for an inexpensive meal, if you don't make or can your own sauces, you can buy them with meat back here or without. And they're the same price, $1.65, but that's some high quality meat, right? They have marinara, organic. That is one thing about Aldi. They do have a lot of organic. My son brought me some of these tortellini. They're not bad. They are not bad. So they're $1.79. It took me 3 times to eat this, and a little bit of olive oil and garlic salt. They have the Rouse, which is a higher end sauce if you're particular, but it's almost $7 a jar. No, thank you. And then your Alfredos, your creamy, your roasted garlic. What is this guy? 4 cheese, $1.79. Not bad. This is a nice price. 95 cents for the chef's cupboard. I also like the Walmart store brand stuffing mix. And I wanted to share this with you if you have a gluten-free diet. Look at this, $2.69 for a little pack of mac and cheese with chickpea pasta versus 58 cents for a regular pack. Well, we're in the soda aisle, and I just wanted to share some prices with you. So regular Pepsi is $6.97, so it's still cheaper than Walmart. But this Diet Cola that my son says is good is $4.25. So we're gonna splurge and we're gonna try a 12-pack. And if I don't love it, it's okay. Well, y'all, I didn't get thrown out of Aldi for wearing my house shoes. Now we'll see if I get thrown out of Walmart for wearing my house shoes. I still can't believe I did that. So, I didn't share what my goal was. I've budgeted $200 for the month of September for food. And so I decided that I would try to limit my spending to $100 now and $100. Yeah, I'm having trouble with my seatbelt. Later, like halfway through the month. So I didn't have to go a whole month. But I spent $64 and some change at Aldi. And I didn't get half of what that was probably on my list. I shouldn't say half. I didn't get a few things. So I need ham hocks. I need the Splenda brown sugar. I'd like to have some mints. We'll see how much those are. It's probably going to put me over my budget, and I really want to stick with my $100. And then I'll show you what I was able to get when we get home for $100 and what meals I plan to make that might help you. And then coming up, we will have some meals with the beans and rice for sure, because I make some good beans and rice, and I've told you before I'm not a fan of rice. So let me go across the way here. I met a lovely lady in there. We chatted for probably 30 minutes. I like to talk to random people. I spend a lot of time alone. All right, guys, I'm heading to Walmart. I realize these are probably not everybody's cup of tea, but for $3 a pound, I can get smoked pork hocks. So 4 of the smaller ones would be $6.85. This is smoked pork cut neck bones. I always like the ham hocks. And they have a lot of packages of them. Oh, those are turkey tails. I don't eat the part that goes over the fence last. I think we're gonna go with this because I can freeze half. So definitely not inexpensive. Whew. Well, it helps when you don't unplug your tubing from the concentrator. Y'all, me and this thing don't always get along. I met my goal. I spent just under $87 at the 2 places. Did I get everything I wanted? No. Did I get enough to kind of fill in the blanks? I absolutely did. I checked some prices at Walmart against Aldi, and some of the things were the same, like the beans, the rice, some staples like that. What was a lot more was produce, and their selection is just, out of this world. So one of the tricks that I did today was I only went in the grocery side. I was like, I will not look at fall decor. I don't need any home goods whatsoever. So staying away from that really helps me. And guys, I don't want you to think like I'm a crazy, can't control myself spender. But when you're really trying to budget, and we haven't even talked about Christmas money. I've done about half of my Christmas shopping already because I'm an early shopper, but I need to lay some money aside because I usually buy my son a nice gift. You know, a $500 gift. Well, I don't have $500 right now. I better get to savings. So I'm going to cut where I can. We're going to head to the bank. I'm going to deposit the August overage and pull out the September, part of the September paycheck that I got, so that we can do a cash stuffing video. And I won't go into as much depth as I did last time, but I'm going to talk about saving money, all the different ways I'm finding to save money. And again, guys, don't think I'm like starving or freezing. It's not like that. But if I don't get control of my money, I am going to constantly be accessing my savings, which is not what I want to do. I know that's what it's there for, but learning to live within your means and being content, there's a lot to be said for that. So, you know, so my hair is silver. I had a lady tell me in Aldi, she was like, people pay good money for that color. And I'm like, really? Because Jesus just made it come out my head. It's a little adjustment, especially the no lashes. And y'all know I'm not a real heavy makeup wearer, and I haven't figured out eye makeup yet, but I will. I've got plenty of makeup, don't need makeup. All right, guys, let's go to the bank, and then I'll meet you at home. I won't take you to the bank, and we'll take a look at everything I bought, talk about prices, talk about some money-saving meals and what might be coming up. So I'll talk at you soon. So we made it home, and let me just show you here. I spent $21.85 at Walmart, and I could put it all in one bag. So the Splenda brown sugar is now $4.98, so it's about $5, and I swear the bag's gotten smaller. So I had this thought, I wonder if I can mix, pardon me for breathing hard, some Splenda that I have on hand with some molasses I have on hand and make the same thing, or mix some brown sugar that I have on hand with some regular Splenda. So I've had some thoughts about ways I might make it a little more economically, and I do this because I have diabetes. Now these are not diabetic friendly, but they're my favorite and I love them, and some of my medications cause dry mouth, so these were kind of a treat. These were $4.72 for the 13-ounce bag. I normally buy the giant one that's $12, but it wasn't in the budget. Then some Jimmy Dean hot sausage. I will make my homemade chili out of this, and I did the Jimmy Dean sausage, which you can only buy at Walmart. Aldi does not carry it. It's $4.62 for a pound of meat, so that's a pretty good deal compared to a lot of beef prices, we'll say. I got 2 chili seasoning mixes, the Great Value brand, at 74 cents each. I probably could have made my own, but I did buy those. And then, of course, you saw my ham hocks, which were $6.05. And I think, guys, I can get like 4 meals out of this. So what am I going to do with it? You can put it in green beans. You can put it in lentil soup. You can put it in soup beans, you know, and have soup beans and cornbread. That's what I plan to do with it. So not only do I have to put all this junk away, I have to do some repackaging and some vacuum sealing, but it's well worth it. It's worth the time. What am I going to do with the sausage? I think I said I'll do some chili. It's chili weather. I'm ready. Now we're going to switch over here. Let me grab the receipt to Aldi and talk a little bit about what I spent. So, wow, they're not spending any money on there. $64.85 is what I think it is. So you can see everything here is under the $10 mark, which is good. So I'll try to tell you some prices. I did buy 2 sour creams, and there's a reason for this. I find that if I leave one sealed, and they didn't have the bigger one either, and I use this for my baked potatoes, it doesn't go bad as quickly. And I do check the expiration dates, and this is October 12th, so this will be long gone by then. I bought the Simply Nature Organic Vanilla Yogurt, instead of buying at Walmart the Greek God honey vanilla yogurt, which is my favorite, it isn't organic, so at least this is, and this was only $3.99, and the Greek God is $2 more than that. For meat, guys, don't fuss at me. I got some bologna, some bologna, and this is chicken and pork, so not too healthy, but it's good for a quick snack. And then the bacon I bought looks really good. It's peppercorn bacon, hardwood smoke. It's Appleton Farms. I've purchased their bacon before. I just like bacon, and I have it a lot for breakfast. It's a good flavoring, like for green beans, even for crumbling up on baked potatoes. And this was not super inexpensive. Let me tell you what it was if I can find it right quick. Large eggs? I don't think so. I don't know what rang up wrong. Something did. I cannot find it. Well, at any rate, we'll go on. And this is the family pack of boneless, skinless chicken breasts. I have thighs in the freezer. I wanted some breast meat. $7.92, but $2.49 a pound. So this will also get divided up, vacuum sealed, and put into the freezer for right now. What do I plan to make with this? Well, guys, I'm gonna do one of my favorite meals, and it's not expensive. So I will make the chicken. I'll open a can of home canned vegetables and make the cornbread stuffing mix, which was under $1, and make the gravy or the sauce out of cream of chicken soup. And that is one of my favorite meals, and very, very economical. I shared the cheese in the store, so a little block of cheese for snacks, basically, or I can shred it up, or I can put it on my baked potato. Treated myself to some half and half. Guys, half and half is expensive. It was $2.49, I believe. So not cheap. My 10 pounds of russet potatoes, and I mostly will use those as baked potatoes, but I can mash them up as well. Then my Pink Lady apples. We're going to make fried apples, homemade buttermilk biscuits, and a little bacon wherever the bacon went, and some eggs. So yeah, have that option. Guys, I know this isn't healthy. I bought some butter spray. I was not going to pay $7-8 for like the avocado or the olive oil spray. It's just too pricey. And this was $2.49 or $2.45. 2.67 cents. Jiffy corn muffin mix. I make cornbread. Out of this, I also make a recipe called Special Occasion Casserole from Miss Gay over at Apron Strings. So I like to keep these on hand. I did buy a box of mac and cheese. Sometimes I just like to have some mac and cheese. This does call for milk. I don't have milk, but I have some half and half I can water down. My 4 rices. Now let me just say something about the rices, guys. I'm going to use this with beans and lots of seasonings and such. I could have saved money by buying a bag of rice. I realize that. This is convenience for me right now, and I have to balance price and convenience in my energy level as well. Kind of a splurge, my inexpensive cola that was under $5 for a 12-pack. My Duke's mayonnaise. Guys, mayonnaise as a whole is so expensive. This was $5, $4.98. Ridiculous. Got a cantaloupe. I shared the price of that. And then, guys, I did buy some Vidalia onions. So let me give you some final thoughts, and we'll wrap it up for today. Well, I want to thank you all for joining me today. You might be thinking with my grocery haul, where's the snacks? Where's the fun stuff? And, you know, having not gone to the grocery for a little over a month, about a month and a week, not quite. It was a day short of a month and a week. I'm just glad to have some fresh items. You know, I have some carrots that are still good. I have onion. I have a lot of seasonings. And, you know, guys, you can make your food flavorful and delicious at an economical price. Making it from scratch, if you just have a few basic things to flavor with, I didn't need spices today, but if you do gradually add some spices, it's going to make a difference in how satiating your food actually is. So we will be doing some cook from scratch, inexpensive meals. And if you wonder where my oxygen is, I ran the battery down. It's one disadvantage, it only lasts for 2 hours. So I'm going to get busy putting everything away carefully. And we'll check on our Philco, see how it defrosted. I'm sure it's fine. It's going to catch it all in the chiller, in that, all the water will come out in the chiller. I could prop the door open. I'm just going to let, nature take its course and take its time. So I hope you'll stay tuned for some upcoming inexpensive meals. I still have that salmon and macaroni and tomatoes sitting over there that I should make for lunch, but I can tell you I'm ready to eat my own arm off, so it's probably going to be a tomato sandwich today. So I should have snacked before I went to the grocery because everything looked good. But we did well. We stayed under our $100 budget. And then, pardon me, in mid-month, I'll be able to go back and stock up on some fresh things. If I want to spend the entire budget, I may not need to. All right, guys. Well, if you do me a big favor, go ahead and smash that like button. Leave me a comment below. What are your super top secrets for saving money at the grocery store? Shopping on the outside, comparing prices, looking at ads, looking for lost leaders, checking in the clearance section. Neither Walmart nor Aldi had a clearance section today. Sometimes Aldi will have some meat on sale, but they didn't today. All right, guys. Well, until I see you again, be healthy, be well, be blessed, and take care.